In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Zoom. If you don't already have the application downloaded to your computer, you can go to springfieldpublicschools.zoom.us. From here, you can either join a meeting, host a meeting, or sign into your account. If you click on Sign In, it'll bring you to this page that has some different options for you. If you click on Profile, it'll show you your meeting ID and Zoom link to your personal meeting room. That way you can share it with staff, parents, and students. Here you can also change your profile picture so that shows up instead of a black screen when you turn your camera off. You can also click on Settings, and within here you can change your different Zoom settings to run the meeting the way you want to. To turn a setting on, you simply click on it and it'll turn blue. To turn it off, you click on it again and it'll turn gray. On your Zoom page, once you start your meeting, you can look at security to see some different options while you're running your Zoom meeting. Here you can either lock a meeting, enable a waiting room, allow participants to share their screen, chat, rename themselves, and unmute themselves. For enabling a waiting room, the difference is that if you have your waiting room on, then it makes students get access from you before entering the meeting. So this keeps students and people out of your meeting until you want them to come in. You can let them all in at the same time or invite individual students or people in at once. Turning this off allows people to join without that waiting room, so anyone can enter your meeting at any time. For allowing participants to share their screen, chat, and rename themselves, these are settings that you might want to change throughout the meeting based on how it's going and if people are taking advantage of that chat to chat with their friends instead of paying attention or renaming themselves inappropriately. So you can turn those off during the meeting if you need to. The next section is the participants. So if a participant is trying to enter the waiting room, it'll look like this. So now that person is trying to get in. So you can either message them, telling them that you'll let them in soon, admit them, or remove them. So if they're admitted, they'll enter the meeting and show up next to you. If you want them to start their video, you can click on the 3 dots next to their name and ask to start their video. They'll get a message popping up on their computer that says either okay or later. If they click later, you'll get a message on your screen saying that they'll start their video later. You can also rename students for them. If it's another staff member that's in your meeting and you want to make them a host or a co-host, you can do that by clicking here. If you make them a co-host, that lets them have access to the waiting room and they'll be able to let students in if needed. The next section is polls. Under polls, you can click and have a question ready to go. If you want to change it, you can click Edit. You can add a new poll, edit an existing one, or delete it. Once you add that poll, it'll show up on your Zoom screen. So this is the poll I created. If you click Launch, it'll push it out to students and they'll be able to answer. Once they answer, it'll show up on your computer in real time so you can see how they're doing. Once you're done, you can click on End Polling. You can either share the results or relaunch the poll if someone said that they didn't get to finish it. The chat function allows you to either message everyone in the group or individual students or staff privately. So you can type a message to just one person or the whole group. The next option is sharing your screen. So when you click on the green Share Screen button, you can either keep it on screen, whiteboard, or iPhone/iPad. If you keep it on screen, it allows you, when you share, to go from one application to the next without having to unshare your screen. If you just click on the one option, they'll only be able to see that screen while you're sharing. If you want to switch to a new tab or a new application, you'll have to unshare again first and then share it again. If you're going to be playing a video, you want to make sure to click on Share Computer Sound and then click Share. You'll still have all the same settings within here. If you want, you can go to the More section to make sure that your Share Computer Sound is checked off. When you're done sharing, you can click on Stop Share, and it'll bring you back to this screen. To record a meeting, you click on the Record button, and you can click on Record on this computer. When you're done and you end the meeting for everyone, it'll give you a video recording of your whole meeting. Next is the breakout rooms. Within here, you can either automatically have them randomly put people in groups, however many groups you want, or you can manually put people into groups. So if you choose manually, you would click on Create Rooms, and then you have to assign the students that you want to go into each breakout room. You also have some different options here. You can move all participants into breakout rooms automatically. So that's the option that you had at the first screen. Allow participants to return to the main session at any time. So you would want to have this checked off if you're going to have someone staying in the main room and not going into breakout rooms, so they can be there to help any students that come back. But if you want everyone to be in a breakout room in their different groups, you want to uncheck this so that they stay where they're supposed to be. If you want a specific time for the breakout rooms, you can put it here, check that off, and then you can type a certain amount of minutes here. The countdown after closing the breakout rooms, you can change it to 10, 15, 30, 60, or 120. Once everything is set, you click on Open All Rooms. Students and staff will get a message on their computer that they can either click Later or they can click Join Breakout Room. Once they join the breakout room, it'll pop up and it'll have a little green circle next to their name saying that they went to the right place. If by accident you put someone in the wrong room, you can click Move To, and it'll automatically take them into that different breakout room. When it's time to end the meeting, you click on Close All Rooms. It'll give them 30 seconds, but students will also get a message on their screen allowing them to return right away. You also have the option to do reactions. So if someone's talking or presenting and you don't want to interrupt them, you can do reactions, either clapping or thumbs up. If you're trying to get everyone's attention and you're talking to students, you can click on the Mute All button to mute all participants. You can either allow them to unmute themselves, or if you uncheck that, then they won't be able to unmute until you want them to. When a student is sharing their screen, you have a couple different options. If you want to help a student and they're having trouble navigating somewhere, up at the top of your screen, you can click on View Options, and then you can click on Request Remote Control. Click Request. The student will get a message that asks if you can give them control. It's either decline or approve, so they have to click Approve. This will then allow you to control their computer, and you can type for them, you can click for them, and you can help them out. Another option that you have is to exit full screen so that you don't have it taking up your whole entire screen and you can still see the participants up at the top.